Okay, folks, we are back with some more pro wrestling news. If you guys don't remember, WWE first announced back on August NXT would be moving to 2 hours after announcing later on that they would air on the USA Network the same as Monday Night Raw. Over the span of this Wednesday Night War facade that I've completely debunked over the last year or so, and over a full calendar year, we have already displayed that Wednesday nights for NXT has been a complicit failure, and they were better just an hour off. And of course, just four or three matches were fine, with just a basis of simple storytelling and trying to develop characters. They move over to 2 hours where we just have random wrestling matches, too many tournaments, no storytelling, and just an overratingness of the show. And primarily, they just lose over on AEW Dynamite to begin with. Now I heard that they're possibly airing on Tuesdays. Will this benefit the company? Because the only deficit that they ever even looked strong was November of 2019, and then they just come over having only average to decent ratings because NXT stays over an 8 o'clock slot, while sometimes majority and AEW has to change over on numbers because they'll air later because of an NBA basketball game or something. That's the majority of what I'm getting here. Citing a very reliable source, the Matt Men Pro Wrestling Podcast reported NXT could be shifting to Tuesday nights earlier come April 13th. Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter addressed the report. So it's confirmed off the journalist. That's primarily what I'm getting off many other companies. I think it's a better thing to just give an independent time slot over for NXT, and plus you have another excuse to watch NXT, so you don't have to come flipping back and forth on NXT and AEW. So I guess that's the benefit there. Plus, NXT is already not as important as AEW, because even though we talk crap about AEW, they have majority more star power. That's practically my opinion. I just don't think like the NXT is never going to consistently even compete, even how much of AEW is not that much of a primordial mainstream draw. People are going to shift over to watch AEW more than NXT because Shaquille O'Neal, Snoop Dogg, Cody Rhodes, they have Kenny Omega. At least more hardcore fans are going to shift over to that more, and plus majority are now like declining more interest over in the product and just watching developmental brand for just wrestling matches are not that good enough anymore. So more people are gonna just be watching AEW more majority. Plus they already average like already a 115,000 thousand viewership deficit nearly most of the hour. Sometimes they'll shift up to 800,000, but that's like if the show is actually at least average. And majority NXT only like the lowest they could get is like 400,000. They average at least 6,500. I mean 650,000 in attendance. In viewership. And it's not that good. I don't even care to watch it anyway. I just wanted this whole Wednesday Night Wars garbage to end. Because it really doesn't improve the product, even though they keep trying to backhand doing dumb comments on WWE for no reason. I just feel like this was like the most least compelling thing ever. Because like when it comes to Monday Night Wars, it's two primetime shows with a bunch of star power, different creative with a whole lot of money that can make cool storylines and have the best characters. So you can see, oh, this show is better. Oh, this show is better. That's what made Monday Night Wars the most iconic thing to happen in pop culture, and especially over to show how much superstardom pro wrestling is. You couldn't get that over on AEW because one's over a developmental brand with a bunch of indie midgets, and one's, of course, Tony Khan supports over the project, and they have a bit more popular stars than NXT. But it's just it's an overproduced, well pictured indie event with not that much focus over with the storytelling factor, too much wrestling and too much inside humor to actually get these characters to be invested around in incredibly SJW. I'm just not a big supporter of both projects. I just watch AEW more because I've done NXT reviews before, and this was before AEW even existed, and that wasn't even getting me decent viewership than I even get now for Raw and SmackDown reviews, and just AEW has just more interesting stars at least. Because who do you have on NXT that's actually that interesting? I don't care about the Undisputed Era. Sorry. MSK just looks like just the Rascals 2.0 with no character or an interesting gimmick. They're just weak PG potheads. And the only cool character that actually looks like a guy that could beat any type of wrestling show is Karrion Kross. And they're just undervaluing him to just have these work rate matches and not building up a character that a guy like him, he can actually build up a character. And why he's not on the main roster yet, and Keith Lee, that's even getting 50-50s on freaking if he should even be on pay-per-view or not. That's a big question mark over how we're even developing our talent. So I'm just not that compelled to watch NXT. You can have like a good match, and I will admit sometimes NXT pulls up some really decent, really good matches, but they're just not over the compelling list that outside viewers are going to watch. If I were you, I would just put them back to a network exclusive, so you can actually have some ongoing content over on the network. Just airing them also on television in a declining audience where they're not even going to expensify the viewership because they're just going to be always shown as a developmental program. It's just going to be an expensive Ring of Honor. You can make it freaking NXT take over the world and it's still not going to sell is what you wanted. And they'll have like 2 great 5-star matches. But all because it's a 5-star match doesn't mean it's a memorable match. And there's a complete difference. So that's all I got for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. The death of Wednesday Night Wars is upon us. And I will be there to view it. Hopefully. And that's practically all I got for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. That's it for me.